Part 3 of Earth's natural history in Genesis. So God created the great sea creatures, and every living creature that moves with which the waters swarm according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw it was good. Okay, so the word that's translated living creatures is a word nefesh. So it's great sea creatures means like sea monsters or like mighty creatures that rule the sea. Nefesh means sea mammals, or it just means mammals, and then he's talking about birds. It's like oaf is the word. Now here's the definition of nefesh from blueletterbible.com. Soul, self, life, creature, person, appetite, mind, living being, desire, emotion, passion. That which breathes, the breathing, substance or being, soul, the inner being of man. And notice for these, it's not, some kind of weird thing. They were all one. All those meanings were one. The breath of life meant that you had like a soul in you. And he's talking about sea mammals, creatures that had the breath of life, and that's what nefesh means. And this lines up perfectly with what the science is telling us. Birds about 150 million years ago, sea mammals about 50 million years ago. So again, he skipped a lot of stuff, but he's going to get it right on time, because people worship birds back then. People worship sea mammals. And remember, Genesis is talking about things people worship as gods, not everything God created. Its relevant point is that there's one God who made everything, and he's the ultimate God. And that would have been a new idea at the time, that there's one God. But to us, that's like a old idea. But to them, that was a radical new idea. And so you had to find a good way to express this completely new idea to people. Let's get to the next one. And God said, let the earth bring forth living creatures according to their kinds, livestock and creeping things, and beasts of the earth according to their kinds. And it was so. The words literally are behemah, che, and remes. And these are all referred to as nefesh again. So it's like livestock, it's wild animals, like carnivore type things, and, little small-legged animals. All things people worship back then. People worship goats, people worship cows, people worship dogs, jackals, cats. The Egyptians mummified their cats. People worship rats and rodents and all kinds of little animals. And again, he's referring to something that the people worshipped as gods. Yet again. And again, it's in the right order that the science tells us, because these animals that the people worshipped as gods, they would have evolved next. In other words, most modern mammals we know today, land mammals we know today, took root about 5 million years ago, after the birds and the sea mammals, in what's called the Pliocene era. And then finally, then God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Man. Now, we're going to do a whole video just on man, but it is important to say that the origin of humans is fairly recent. And again, everything that's been going here in Genesis is in order, just skipping the things that people didn't worship as gods, and understanding that the word for the sun and the moon on day 4 is just putting them in their place. But humans, the origin of humans, we got like the dates, we can't narrow it down like the day, but the scientists are saying somewhere in the range of 200,000 years ago to 50,000 years ago, which is much later than 5 million years ago for the other ones. So anyway, thank you for your time, and we'll get back with you on the Enuma Elish and Babylonian mythology and how that connects to Genesis. And when you see how all this science connects and the mythology connects, you're going to see something incredible.